Good morning and welcome to everyone joining us live or playing us back in the future. I'm Mohammed Yunus Gallup's editor-in-chief and your host for today's program on our latest from the World Cooking Index.
So how often did the world cook in 2021? So this map shows the frequency of meals cooked per week in 2021 across the world. The darker the color, the more meals were cooked at home per week. In 2021, some countries began the process of easing out some of the restrictions brought forth by the pandemic, but a full return to the pre-pandemic activities was not fully observed. As a result, the average frequency of cooking either remained stable or changed only slightly in many countries. The average frequency of cooking at home didn't change since 2020, remaining at 6.7 meals per week. Eating at home decreased slightly in 2021 to 9.8 meals per week compared to 9.9 the year before.
And as was alluded to, I have for a long time since the first survey, and I was part of an academic team that tried to make sense of it to see if we could predict what led to people cooking more frequently or less frequently. The loudest predictor was gender. And that has always led me in a rather obsessed way to wonder why. Again, apropos of my co-panelist's comment, is this because women are expected to cook? Is this really a task? And I think one of the questions in the future, which we could ask on a global basis, is the level at which people enjoy cooking, the people who do the cooking.
The search surged during the stay-at-home period for each nation, but after that, it became to go back to the normal levels. So I think what it suggests that external pressure alone, even if in the magnitude of COVID, which we've never seen before, cannot change people's behavior in the long term just by itself. And it's necessary to encourage people or to tackle the cultural aspect that I think Psyche was referring to continue on cooking. Another thing is maybe due to COVID is that the younger generation, like the high school students or the college students, it seems that they had a chance to start cooking from an earlier age, which, because we are seeing numbers that every year the younger generation seems to be cooking more than the year before since we started this survey.
I think teaching people young is important. I think we could do a better job of asking some of these questions, like, for the person who cooks, do they cook intergenerationally? For all we know, that may be part of what brings joy to the cooking and takes it out of the task burden and the unpleasantness scale. Who is actually making food? We said from scratch and tried our best to define what that was.
Cooking is only one part of the cooking process. The physical act of cooking is only one part. And that when we expand this conversation to think about the amount of time that goes into planning, shopping, transporting food, unpacking it, bringing it home, storing it, and then cooking, you begin to get a number of different other responses from people who have to do that work 2 and 3 times a week.
I'm of the belief that if we taught more people how to cook delicious, fabulous, inexpensive foods from scratch, it's actually a way to navigate through these difficult financial times. I think most people are just overwhelmed by the challenge of imagining that they could cook a healthy, delicious meal from canned food, frozen food, stable pantry items, things on sale in bulk. Canned foods should need to be elevated, and we need to educate one another and the people we're interacting with to eliminate that shame, because they're part of a healthy, sustainable world.